My only passion is, can I understand something? Wow. A few years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, there was a volcano that went off in the south of Iceland. This volcano went off, and because of the jet stream going across the United States, northern United States, and then going past Iceland and then down across Europe, what came out of this volcano got into the upper atmosphere, and it shut down air traffic because the granules, they called it a pumice. I'm not sure it was a pumice, but it was made up a lot of sulfuric acid, and sulfuric acid transformed into droplets and a coarse stone. Would get into the jet engine and shut them down, and so they shut it down. It cost billions of dollars and lost. People couldn't get home from Europe. But they never told the other story. That in 1783, 84, and 85, 3 years, just east of this volcano, I mean east, less than 100 miles I think, there was a volcano called L-A-K-I. I always pronounced it Locky, but they pronounce it Larky. And it went off for 3 years, off and on for 3 years, kept on pumping stuff into the atmosphere, going down across Europe, down across Europe, down across North Africa, down the Nile Valley, across to India, and it hung there. We've never heard this story. Nobody learns this in school. Why is this an important story? They estimate minimally 5 million people died. Minimally. That makes it a pretty big event. And it's an event in our recent history. It caused the French Revolution. The starvation in France from the lack of crops because of this volcano. And Benjamin Franklin was in Paris and wrote about it. This is not hearsay. They died for 3 years in the Nile Valley and in India. We think about innovation and think about things changing. We don't know anything about our history, and that's a moment. 1783 is a moment ago. I'm indignant about us not being taught that because of the short memory of people, the short way we look at time and events of people, the overriding sense of your feet being in the ground and understanding that we always stand on the backs of somebody, and history is part of understanding the future, that looking backwards is part of the future, and everything we do is not just the next Twitter or the next way you can cash a check with your iPhone. It isn't just about that next app that comes out. We're not really interested in understanding, even though understanding precedes action. We're interested in action. You shouldn't do anything until you understand something. Understanding is fundamental. That's my passion, that's my life. How do I understand things? What forms, what situations, live, real, in print, in film, what situations can I create that allow me not to have the disease of familiarity, that allow me to understand what I'm doing, allow me to really embrace my stupidity and my ignorance, allow me to let things in, allow me to have pattern recognition, to allow me to understand the ways of organizing information so I can find my path, my map, my personal journey, to understand something. That's all I think about. I'm Richard Saul Wurman. Subscribe to THNKR.